How's that?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice, as old Bruce used to say.
Yes, we'll try and make this as quick and painless as for everybody. We've got obviously we've had a couple of questions, and we just thought it would be wise. Well, Dad thought it'd be wise if we just go through a lot of questions. We're going to go through like an interview. I'm going to ask Dad a load of questions to basically answer a few things that just needs
You
answering.
might be wondering,
Yeah.
you've probably all got questions, and as you said, we've had some questions come through, and some things we want to clarify. In fact, Harry and I have talked about doing something like this for quite a while, and this just seems the opportune time. So, without further ado, we'll get into it in order to cover as much ground as we can in not too long a time.
How would you categorise this? It's about the Harrogate stand, but also more in detail about
So
what the Harrogate stand is and why
what
we're
we've
doing
been
it.
talking about with the Harrogate, with the gift show, and home bar and giftware show, home and giftware show in Harrogate. So it's about that and what we've been saying about that. But then it's also at the same time that opens up other questions, because there are no doubt people going to go, well, how can you do that, and why would you do that, and and so on and so forth. So so hopefully what this will do is because we was talking about it yesterday in and amongst the stream, but of course, Harry's got a lot to do with the stream, and I'm trying to keep on top of the stream and talk. You're also trying to, those of you that are playing the game, are trying to concentrate on the wheel as well as have somebody chirp away in your ear hole. So we thought we'd put this little video together, and hopefully this will answer all your questions. And if you've got any questions, or if you want to talk to me further about it, or if you want to jump on it and get involved with this, then just get in touch. You've all got my number on WhatsApp, and if you've had anything through the post from us, then it's got my phone number on it. So pardon me, just WhatsApp me. Don't prefer WhatsApp over the ordinary phone text message, because I've got a fly in here, because I've got a few issues with that, with 3 at the minute, but the WhatsApp's working all right on the Wi-Fi. And there we are. We've lost your sound, Harry.
That's because I muted it. What a div. How much? So regarding the Harrogate stand, just get straight into it. How much do you think the show will cost, and how much do you think the show will cost, and how much do you have towards it?
Okay, so the honest answer to that is I think it's going to cost a total of about 4,000, and I base that on it's 2,500 including the VAT to actually have the stand, and then from there we've got some accommodation. That's probably another 600 quid. We're going to need at least 100, maybe 150 for our food and drink for the 4 days, because it's for 4 days. Try and go up there the day before, which is 5. So if I say about 4,000, then I'm thinking that will cover everything plus an odd eventuality or two. How much have I got towards it? At this moment, nothing. I only put that deal up last night. I haven't exactly got anything towards it. So on the one hand, I had to make a decision. Am I going to book the show? Am I not going to book the show? And so I took the decision to book it, sign the contract. So now I'm sort of committed, and I'm hoping I don't end up with egg all over my face, and I'm hoping that we can raise the money and we can go.
Okay. What happens if it doesn't work and it's a flop? We have to go bust.
Well, yes. So that was a big question. That one was. If it doesn't work and it's a flop, so we can talk about the good side as well, but also one needs to take into account what the bad side is. So the biggest negative is what happens if we do the whole show, we do the 4 days, and in the total 4 days we sell 25 coins. That's it. Nobody's interested. Nobody wants to stock our product. everybody thinks it's garbage, or they're just not interested, or don't like it, or whatever. Then we'd end up coming away from there. Now that depends on how much we've raised, but we would end up coming away from there, and I think we'd have to really seriously think about what our moves would be moving forward. So it is possible. I would say it is possible. It's also possible not to, but I like to be straight with everybody and say, well, this could happen. Then again, this could happen. And sometimes it's like flipping a coin. You just don't know which side it's going to land on.
So you look like you're trying to then.
Did I miss any? If I miss anything, just repeat.
No. Sorry, you look like you was just going to say something more. I do apologise. So basically, then what you're saying is Harrogate isn't a dead cert, is it? It's
no.
But are you sure that if it does work, it'll work? Does that make sense?
Yes. So that's the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is we flog our guts out for 4 days. A lot of work goes into it. We get nowhere. We sell 25 coins. Nobody's interested. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, and I'll mention a best case scenario because quite literally anything in between the best case scenario and the worst case scenario can happen. Right? I don't think it's possible that we will sell less than 25 coins. I think even if it was really bad, we would sell probably about 25 coins or something like that. So I think that's a worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that the actual best case scenario is that somebody comes along that's got a little chain of gift shops or chain of jewelers or something like that. They like what we're doing, and they not only buy some for one shop, but they buy some to spread around all the shops. You know, somebody had, say, 6 shops, and they bought 12 of each. That would give them 2 of each for each shop. So something like that would be the best case scenario. Now, from a best case scenario point of view, that could go to all sorts of levels. What if somebody came in that had a chain of 50 shops?
Yeah. They could. The best case scenario as well, someone clears out the amount of visitors come by and they clear you out of the stand and clear out the stock. That is true best case. But I mean, I suppose, you are.
But that's the ultimate, you know.
That's the ultimate, you know.
And I'm not thinking. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I'm not thinking for one second that best case scenario, the very best case scenario, is going to happen, and I don't think you are either, Harry, are you?
No, I think, you know, we got to manage expectations. I think it has the potential of pushing the brand, the coins, and getting the coins out there massively. You know, not only for the individual people who come along and think, oh, that's a nice gift, I'll buy it. But also from the people that are traders and people that come along to stock stuff for their own shops. I think it has got potential, absolutely. And as you say, from what I get from what you're saying is that, yes, the best case is, you know, unlimited. There could be unlimited variations of what the best case could be. But I think more so it's, as much as there's huge potential, that there could be an issue. It might not work. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's all about managing expectations there. Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to put a figure on it, I suppose, would you agree with, say, worst case scenario, we sold like 24 coins?
No, I don't want to.
Sold 1,000. I
wouldn't estimate or go with anything. I mean, yes, before we go, we could work out based on how many people the previous year, how many people, what the price point is, and we could work it out realistically. But trying to pull figures out just on video isn't going to happen. Like saying 2,000 units would be a good, you know, or 100 units would be good. I don't know. We need to sit down and work it out properly. But there will be I don't think it will be that much to ask for making it work, if that makes sense. It's not like we have to sell 25,000 units to make it work, because it's not just about what happens on the day, it's what happens after. You know, once people start collecting the coins, then obviously you've got people wanting to get more coins and searching and all of that. Plus, you've got the potential of traders and individuals wanting to have bespoke coins as well. So then you've got the after effects of the show from that as well. So you could get more orders coming in. So it is very hard to determine what would make a good that show successful. And trying to pull figures out right now is you know, that's all it will be.
It's virtually impossible, isn't it? Which is why I say anything from the worst or the best and anything in between is what can happen. It has a good potential. You know, there are 5,000 people minimum walking around, and all of those people are pretty much business people, which is why it starts on a Sunday, it goes through to a Wednesday, because it's not a weekend thing, because it's not a public thing. It's business.
But saying that, you know, if anybody's watching and they do want to come and they want to say hello, you know, you are allowed to come. It's not like you have to have a business or anything. You know, it does take in members of public if you want to, but because of the times, it's better suited for those who have businesses. But if you've got the time, or you've got time off, or you're retired and you still want to come along, yeah, anyone's welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we know in advance, we can get an exhibitor pass.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so here's an important question. What happens to me if it don't work?
Well, you've been with us now for over a year, I think, getting on for about 15 months-ish now, close on. So it's been quite a while that you've been part of it, but I have to face facts if I'm answering that question honestly, and say, if things don't work, I mean, if the show doesn't work, then likelihood is I probably wouldn't be able to keep you on, because as it is, we are, say, limping along, but limping along is not necessarily the right word, but it's probably not either the wrong word. We are sort of limping along at the minute, and let's be honest again, there are times where up until the last few months, say the last 3 or 4 months, I've been able to make sure that your wages are there every single week, pretty much. In the last few months, it's been really dicey. Hard for you and Beth, and hard for me to try and make sure that they're there every week. And it's been an impossibility to make sure they're there every single week. So I'm generally behind with you most of the time, even though you've cut down the amount that you take, and you know, we've tried to make that work, but it's still hard going. So there's a very good chance, yes, if it doesn't work and we haven't got any money left over, I mean, for example, say we raised the full 15 grand, which is what I put the 20 lots up for, and it costs us 4 to do the show. So you've got another 11,000 there that's over and above what we need for the show, out of which we'd probably take 1,000 or so to get some more coins done, ready for the show.
I see what you can. You could have X amount like saved just to ensure wages for the next.
Exactly. So in that scenario, we could probably take so much of that and say, right, put that over there. That's your wages for the next 3 months or 4 months. So that's possible. But in an absolute worst case scenario, we only raise enough money to just about do the show with no money left over, and the show doesn't work, then yeah, I think that's game over from your point of view. So that means that you're going to have to try and find something else, which is not very pleasant. And then that means that we're back to me just doing it on my own.
No, I get that. I understand that.
And then, of course, in that time, you and I have rejigged all of the stock and everything. So what we would do in that scenario, I don't know. It's scary. That's the scariest thing for me, to get to that position. But that is the reality. That is the possibility. Yeah. So
as you say, is whatever situation, we'll deal with it. You know, at the time, whatever happens, we'll deal with it.
Yeah. We'll still deal with it, and we'll, you know, get up in the morning and go to bed at night. But that could be the reality. Yeah.
Understood. I understand that. Okay, so next question. What went wrong with eBay at Christmas, and how much has that impacted?
Well, see, that's why I say the last few months about your wages, because in the run up to Christmas, and I obviously didn't make a big thing of it and let many people know, because I didn't want to cause myself even more problems. But we had the drawbridge come down again on the eBay account in about November. It was about the beginning of November. When they brought the drawbridge down, they essentially said they left all our stuff for sale and allowed us to carry on selling, but put a hold on the money. So they're not going to give us any money, but we must still send the stuff that we're selling, and until they were happy to lift the drawbridge. So that happened, and we carried on selling, and we carried on selling, and we carried on sending off what we could, etc., like mad. And then literally just before Christmas in December, not about a week or so before Christmas it was, I think, the drawbridge slammed shut and they took all our items off sale, and that was the eBay account done. So that was the Change Checker eBay account, which we grafted our socks off for, to get over 5,000 listings up there. So we'd got to a point where we could literally, I could breathe easy. I could cover the wages, I could cover the ongoing bills that were coming in, and there was a couple of people I was been talking to try and get them round 2, round 3 investor, to try and get them a little bit of money, because they're desperate. And that was sort of starting to happen. And then wallop, when that happened, the income from the eBay was gone overnight. We're still managing to sell some stuff on eBay because of other people, but it's a fraction of what we was doing. But the expenses and stuff were continuing. So for the last I would say 7 months, I've been sort of bleeding money like you wouldn't believe. And that's only sustainable for so long. So so that's what went wrong with that. And because of that, it put us in a really awkward position, because now we're trying to get awareness and sales of TGBCH coins, and you can't run away from the fact that eBay, like Amazon, the biggest marketplaces in the world, so you need them really. And it's funny, when we were selling the TGBCH coins under the Change Checker username, we were selling a lot every week. We'd started, it had gone like that. If you had a graph, the graph would just go diagonally upwards. And we were just selling more and more and more, picking up more and more customers that were then starting to collect them. And you'd see the same names coming in every week, every other week, obviously, when they're getting paid, buying a few more. And then even though we've managed to get some back up there for sale, a lot of that has dried up. You know, it does make a difference on the feedback that you've got, etc. You know, and the number of people that are following that account, because they then get an email.
The number being sold as well. So when people see the number sold, they obviously see that it's been sold a few times rather than just a brand new product. So yeah, I get that.
So it's made a huge difference.
Okay. So
it's
you
almost
mentioned
to the point, just to finish off there, almost to the point where we coulda, shoulda again gone under. You know, that's how much difference it made. And the only reason we haven't is because of the different income streams that I've purposefully set up before. So the subscriptions that we've had still going, the bit of money we've got coming in from there, the little bit of money we've got coming in from there, all added up, it's been enough to just keep us limping along, really. So that's the reason why we've been able to carry on since then, which we didn't have that last time. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about investments as well. So surely everyone protects their investor. Sorry, what do you mean when you ask people to protect their investments?
So when you've got an investment in something, I really think and believe, I'm not just saying it because I'm on the other end of it, but I think we should all protect the investment that we've got. You buy a car, this is not a stupid analogy, even though it sounds like one. You buy a car or a bike, you let that go to rack and ruin, then it will go to rack and ruin. Whereas if you protect your investment that you've made in that car, and you get it serviced and you change the tires and blah, 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 then it will last you a lot longer, right? So you should always protect the investment that you make in something. And when it's cash, and like it's been in our business, there's various ways in which people could protect their investment. Now, what I mean by that is, if we make it, the people that have made those investments, they get paid out, and they get paid out rather juicily if we make it. But we have to make it. So if people were to help us, and when I say protect their investment, so protecting your investment could be buying an entry in George's Drawer, taking out a subscription. It could be putting up with more money, like some investors have done. They've gone, okay, see what's happened there, right? But you need more money, and they've come in and they've helped us out with more money. I won't mention any names because that would be wrong. But people have done that and helped us buy the TGBCH coins and wages and do the various things that we've done. So they've protected their investment by putting in more money. Okay, but not everybody has got more money to put in. Some people put in what they could before. They can't afford to put in any more money. All sorts of things have happened. The pandemic for 2 years, the cost of living crisis, all these things going on are affecting people's individual pockets. And I laugh about that and say, oh, send me to Ian. But I do get it. I really, really do get it. And so protecting your investment could be, like I say, buying the odd George's Drawer ticket, buying a Mayflower Gold ticket. It could be not spending any money, but like when I talked about this once before, and I said, and I implored people to protect their investments. And I remember there was one person, and that person, from that day to this, they can't afford to put in any money, but they make sure they're there every time we're on stream. And can you still see me?
Yeah, still.
Oh, right, it's just my screen went black. They make sure they're there every time we're on stream, and they make sure they share it. You know, that's protecting your investment. That they physically can't do anything else, maybe can't afford to buy anything or whatever, but they will help in one way or another. You know, and not everybody does that. But it's an important thing to do. I mean, it's no different from the big companies when they get into trouble financially. They go back to their shareholders and they say, you know, we've got these issues. We need some more money, and they'll end up selling more shares or getting more money off the shareholders, or they get the banks. Mind you, they've got loans in the millions and stuff. But when you're in that position, you then go to the banks and you say, right, well, I need you to refinance it now. I need another load of money on top, and I need you to rejig the loan and that kind of stuff. So so it's a way of trying to get the investors that we've got to continue supporting us and continue helping us. And I know that that's been difficult, and I know that a lot of people have been put off by some of the things that happened previously, and I can't do anything about that. But I hope I've shown everybody really over the last 3 or 4 years, regardless of how bad things get, regardless of how will I've got or anything like that, I just carry on. I keep going and keep going and keep going, and I won't give up. So yeah.
Okay. Now, what would happen to the memberships if you do go bust?
They would have to freeze. And obviously, if I was to go under, if I was to go bust, the memberships would all have to freeze and stuff. The leaderboard would stay exactly where it is. That's the amount that we know set in stone. So obviously there'd be no prizes and that kind of stuff. And then it depends on what happens with the official receiver. If that scenario happened, then it would then depend on what would happen with the official receiver and what the official receiver would allow me to do or not do. Now there could be a scenario where the official receiver says, I want everything, the paperwork, the lot, everything. And there could be a scenario where the official receiver says, okay, you know, we'll put all that in a bankruptcy, but we won't put that in a bankruptcy. We'll let you carry on with that. So, but from that moment onwards, from the moment onwards where me and you or me was to come on and go, right, that's it now for a bit, because I've got to go down the official receiver route, then everything would freeze. That doesn't necessarily mean it's game over, even if I go under, because there are other things in play, depending on how much I can get protected by then, that could still pay out at some point in the future. So even when it's game over, it might not be game over.
Okay. But what would happen with the TGBCH main site and prize site if things do go pear-shaped?
Well, if it, in my ideal world, the perfect scenario for me would be to separate off TGBCH prizes. I would have TGBCH prizes as a separate limited company. I would have TGBCH as a separate company. If I couldn't do that, I would have them both under one. And either of those two scenarios would be the right move. A bit like Change Checker. Change Checker now is a standalone company. If we want to have Cybercash, for example, I have to buy it off them. You know, there's certain legalities. So anything happens to me, nothing can happen to nothing can happen to Change Checker. That is totally, anything to do with Change Checker is totally protected. So because it's protected and because it's its own entity, it still has the potential of doing whatever it could do in the future. That can still happen. As far as TGBCH and the prize site is concerned, I would love to be able to put those into separate entities as well, but there isn't enough of us. You know, you've already got your name to something for us, so that protects that. So it wouldn't be right to ask you to like load yourself up with company after company after company, especially if you have to go down the road of looking for another job. You ain't going to be able to do both. So if I couldn't get anybody to go on the board, as it were, and become directors and help me start up limited companies for them, then they could potentially get swallowed into the bankruptcy. But again, I would need the conversation with the official receiver, try and explain to them what it's all about, what the business is all about, etc., and see what they would let me carry on with. They may let me carry on with it. They may not.
Okay, so that would be the ideal scenario in that, which is fair enough. We won't know until anything happens, and obviously there's ways of trying to protect it in the meantime. Okay,
Yeah.
so
you need a couple of directors for them. You know,
Yeah.
nowadays you can have just one and two on each one, but what I don't want is somebody to do me a favour. I don't want somebody to say, oh, you know, I'll be a director for you just so that you can protect things, but I won't do any work. You do the work. I'll just be a director for you in name only. That would be so wrong. It would be wrong from 2 points of view. One, it means I have to do both lots of work. I've got to do extra work, and I'm struggling to do the work that I do as it is. And two, it would be highly illegal because it would somebody doing you a favour and being a director for you is called a shadow director, with you still owning the company and pulling the strings in the background, and they just do what you say, but they have a legal responsibility as a director. So to do that is actually a no-no, and that's why I haven't done it. I haven't got it set up already, is because I haven't really got anybody at the moment. If there is anybody out there that wants to get involved and help me protect them too in that way, that'd be great. Let's talk. But that's why I haven't done it so far, is because I haven't got anybody else that I can go to ask them to do that and come on the board and be a part of it in that way.
Okay. We've covered a couple of questions there, so we'll go to the next. Obviously, this was all discussed around Harrogate and the gift show.
Yeah.
You've done an amazing offer, which was £750. I'll put it up on screen. This is a new platform, by the way, so we're using this as a bit of a test. Yeah. So you've done an Ian's exclusive deal. So anybody that does want to take up on it, you can just scan the QR code on screen, and it will take you to the listing. So this offer here, which is £4,750 worth of memberships, you're offering for 750 quid. Now, what if someone can't afford the 750? Would you break it down a bit?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if somebody wants to take a part of it, then we can organise that. I mean, at the end of the day, I would like to sell all 20. Do I really care how I sell all 20 and in what portion each person has? No. If I can sell all 20, I need to sell all 20. So if somebody says, look, I want to help you and but I can only afford 50 quid, fine. We'll work out what 50 quid's worth is of that and give you that. The importance is that we try and raise 15 grand. That's the importance of it. And if we did raise 15 grand and most of those people paid by card, then we'd lose 1,000 to 1,500 of it ish anyway in fees and stuff. So essentially, if we raise 15 grand, we're going to end up with about 14 ish. But I want to try and raise that amount of money because it would, if I could raise that amount of money, it would quite simply guarantee the show for us, and win or lose at the show, heads or tails, show works, show doesn't work, regardless, it would still give me and Harry another good 6 months after the show to be able to carry on working together without losing Harry. So, and also to be able to pay some ongoing bills that need paying along the way and be able to give us some extra coins to take with us. So I don't mind how I sell the 20, as long as I sell all 20.
Did you say as well that if someone pays you bank transfer, they'll get an extra £75 Casper Cash voucher?
Yes. So if you paid us £7.50 by bank transfer, then I'll give you a £75 Casper Cash voucher, which is the equivalent of 10% off.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, regarding the show, I'm going to take this off screen at the minute, so let's take that off. We'll put it back up at the end of the screen if anybody wants to take advantage, or they just go over to tgbch.co.uk if they want to help us out with the show. Okay, so when it comes to the show itself, if there was anyone that lived close by and they wanted to come and help out or do some work, what would you pay them and how would you pay them?
Okay, so if somebody wanted to come and help us and work, then £30 an hour in either PCC or membership voucher, because I can't pay any other way. So so that's why it would be a good whack, and it wouldn't be necessarily easy. Standing on your feet for an hour or two giving out leaflets, it's not easy work. I mean, it is easy work, but it's still hard going work. And I don't expect that somebody would want to say, "Oh, come and do all 4 days," from all day. I don't see that. But however many hours you wanted to work, then yes, on that basis.
Okay. And what about if anybody wants to come along and say hello? Do they have to hand leaflets out? Do they have to do anything on the stand?
No.
Some people might think they're obliged to do something.
Yeah, no. If you're just up there and you're able to pop in for 10 minutes or an hour just to come and see us and say hello, and like Harry's wanted to do for ages, is do some meetups. Well, in a sense, this is our first one, and then from there, who knows? But maybe we can. If the show works from any point of view, from a wholesale point of view, or even from a personal point of view, i.e., people buying just for themselves, maybe we'll look at doing a Christmas show or something like that, a Christmas fair or craft fair or something. We've got to see, because we'll have bought accessories in order to do the show, so those accessories will enable us to do something else like it. But so come along and just say hello, and if anything, just hold the fort while we go and get a coffee, or go and get us a coffee, or just hold the fort while we go and have a wee or something like that. But no, you don't have to do anything at all. Just come and say hello, and a bit of support would be brilliant. But if you did want to do it,
and it's free entry as well, so you can come along, or as Dad said, we can get some exhibitor passes, and you could be exhibitors for the day.
So, and if you've got shops of your own, either shops physical Or if you're selling on the internet like eBay and you sell not just coins but bits and pieces, because I know, for example, it might be a bit far for him, but I know Andy Walton and his wife have got a gift shop type thing.
Lou's Emporium, little shout out.
So it is the kind of place where every and any gift that you can possibly think of, it's there. Most people have heard of that company called Franklin Mint, who do limited edition things and charge the earth for them and so on. They buy from there. They'll walk around, they'll see somebody that makes something a little bit special, you know, a certain ornament that's gold plated or whatever, and they'll do a deal with them and buy it for Franklin Mint. So, you know, you get every type of gift shop owner there.
Great stuff. What about a live feed to YouTube? If it's possible, obviously, internet forgiving, you're up for doing a YouTube live or a TikTok live?
Yeah, if there's a way in which we could do it, if there's a way in which we could set something up on the stand so that we can just have it running live, because I know with YouTube you can be live for a maximum of 8 hours, and it will stay live for longer. But when you've finished and you go, right, that's it, end and upload, it will only upload the last 8 hours. So that would be cool, because then some of you would be able to just hop on anytime you like and just have a look and see us working on the show and see what kind of, you'd be able to see firsthand. If we could do it, I don't know if we can do it, but if it's possible for us to do it, Harry, I know, would make it work. If he can't make it work, then we can't do it.
Yeah, I think the only issue with that is obviously permissions from people. Obviously, streaming live on YouTube and on the internet is if it's going to be a trade show, very busy, which it will be. Then obviously we've just got that issue.
But we could put a little sign up saying, you know, our stand is streaming live to YouTube.
Don't know. We'll have to think about it and look at it.
If it was possible, I just think it would be great for you guys, especially those of you that have invested in us, whether you've invested in us money-wise or whether you've invested in us by buying a coin, whatever that might be. Because if you've bought just one single coin, it's in your interest for us to work, and it would be nice for you to be able to see what kind of reaction we're getting. You know, are me and Harry busy? Are we talking to people? Are we standing there picking our ears because we've got nothing to do? You know, because everybody's giving us a wide berth, or Harry picking his nose because nobody's coming on the stand. You know, you would be able to see in real time, and we wouldn't be able to hide it from you. So, you know, which comes into the transparency that I've always promised from day one of trying to come out of the original insolvency.
Absolutely. I mean, there could be a way that we could spin it on as security on the stand, and therefore it just live streams to YouTube. So there could be ways around it and advertise as CCTV in operation in some way. But closed circuit means it's locally. So again, we would have to look into various ways, but I do like the idea of that. Okay, so just to recap about the show and to make everyone on the same page as to what it is you're offering, let me put it back up. So this Ian's exclusive deal 21, that is really dedicated for specifically raising for the show, for the Harrogate gift and homeware exhibition, of which you will be giving away roughly, well, 4,750. You can see it on your screen there. 4,750 for £750. Plus, if people pay by a bank transfer to avoid the fees, you're giving away an extra £75 as a Casper Cash voucher. Is that all? Have I got it all right?
Yeah, and I also like what you mentioned yesterday. So let's give anybody that has one the full 750. You'll get one free triple whammy. Because last night somebody actually won £1,000, didn't they?
Oh yeah, that's right.
They won £1,000. So when you think about it, I will give you a triple whammy if you buy into this. You could have a spin. You could get £1,000 and pay for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. And what about?
And we'll split it down as well. So if you can't quite afford the 750, but you want to help us and you want to come in a bit, I'll do it pro rata.
So there's a question here that I think this one was submitted, but I don't fully understand. So basically, if any one of the businesses work in the future,
Yeah.
that £5,000 worth of vouchers, along with any other memberships owed on the leaderboard, is what people get in cash, like real cash. That's what they'll get. That's what they'll get back.
Yeah. So the memberships have always been done in the way that whatever your points are on the leaderboard, then that is essentially what I owe you if we should take off. If we should take off and fly like an eagle, right? Now, some people might look at that and go, oh, that's absolutely crazy. That's like, look at the amount of money that's owed already. You'll never be able to do anything like that. It doesn't take much to work it out if you think about it, right? Just get yourself your calculator on your phone or pen and paper. It doesn't take much to work out. We already have, I think the most expensive item on Change Checker, for example, is 3 million quid. Now, supposing a billionaire or millionaire comes forward, and because obviously, if you're not a millionaire or billionaire, you're not going to be able to afford to buy it.
Let's work it out. I'm doing the calculation while you're talking. So go on.
Okay. So if somebody come along and bought that, remember we charge on Change Checker, they charge 5%. So if somebody come along and bought that £3 million item, that would be somewhere in the region of about, let's see, 30 grand, 15 grand or something like that. 5%.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to do percentages on a calculator.
No, it's not. It's 150,000 because 10% of 3 million is 300,000. So 5% is half of that, which is 150,000. So if somebody came along tomorrow and bought that one item, that one single item, we would get £150,000 commission. So, you know, from a future perspective, just talking about changechecker.com on its own, it could have, if it gets to a point, it's already got nearly 1,000 members. It's got up to nearly 1,000 members. So if you fast forward in time to a point where it's got 20,000 members, and there are 30 or 40 or 50,000 members, and there are a lot of sales going on there, that has the potential to make a phenomenal amount of money. Phenomenal on its own. Then take something like the raffle site, TGBCH Prizes. If you take, I'm just going to take one because otherwise I could go on all day. If you take the good subscription, the excellent subscription that Harry's just put up.
Oh, the gold one, yeah.
The gold one, right? 20 quid a month, and get your calculator again. 20 quid a month, and you get entered 20 times into all of the raffles on the day of the draw. Now, £20 a month. If, as time goes on, future comes on, we was to get 1,000 people. 1,000 people is not a lot of people.
I don't need a calculator for that, you muppet.
No, that's 20 grand a month.
Yeah.
50,000 people would be £100,000 a month.
Yeah.
So that has its own potential of making a phenomenal amount of money, not without people actually coming along by that time and they're topping up their account and they're buying entries, you know, and so on, and paying cash and so on. So as a standalone business, TGBCH Prizes has a huge potential on its own. So there's two businesses that could be completely separate, completely independent entities, their own entities, and they both have a potential of making a phenomenal amount of money. And then you've got TGBCH Prizes, TGBCH itself, the Ratbridge coin, and TGBCH coins, our coins. The ideal scenario on that, because I've said, no matter what happens, even if we became phenomenally successful, we would never make more than 1,000. Even if a celebrity came to us and said, you know, hey guys, we're ITV or we're BBC and we want you to do 5,000 coins, we'd say no. Have 5 coins at 1,000 each, we'll do that. But we will never make more than 1,000. Now that's really important because the ideal scenario for those coins is to get to a point where you've got 1,001 people that are buying every coin we release. Right now, at the moment,
it makes it sought after. So as people have got them, some people don't, and so they're going to fight over them. They're going to be resold for higher value, therefore protecting your investment again.
You just want a couple of people over what it is that you're making the maximum of, and then suddenly it's, you know, so we already know we can get there with hundreds because we did that Pride run, didn't we? And it was sold out before it even arrived. So we know it's possible. You just got to hit the right market. And then when we can do 100 coins and we go, right, we've got this new coin now, and we sell that coin, sell out, all gone before they arrive. Then we put it up. We've done that a couple of times, say 3 or 4 times on the bounce, and that's happened. Then it's time to put it up to 150. And then when we can sell all 150 before they arrive, and we do that a couple of times, then it'll be time to put it up to 200. So we've learned our lessons by the mintages we've done in the past, what works, what doesn't, and we need to follow that recipe. We need to follow that through exactly until we get to the stage where we can release a coin. There's 1,000 mintage available, and we sell all the 1,000 before they even arrive. Now, if we get to that point, and you released, say, 1 coin a week, that's £10,000 a week. So any one of those 3 businesses has a huge potential to do it on their own. And we only need, when you think about it, you only need one of them to soar like an eagle, you know. So so that's my thoughts on that.
Right. I think you're right. It certainly has the potential because it's you only, as you say, you only need one. So okay, flip side. If none of the business ever work out and none of them ever make any money, then no one will get anything, will they?
Yes, that's true.
So, because I've heard you say that a few times, this is obviously a really big ask for people. So I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, you can't flower that up. I mean, at the end of the day, if something works, great. This is one of those things where if it works the way we all want it to work, great. I'm everybody's friend. Everybody loves me. They've made loads of money out of me, and they've had a few airy moments. There's been a few times where they've thought, oh God, I'm going to lose me money. Oh, maybe I'm not. Oh God, I'm going to lose me money. Oh, maybe I'm not. And it's been like that again and again and again and again. So if it works, I have absolutely no doubt that that I'll be in everybody's good books, as well as my own, as well as Harry's, as well as Fran's. But if it goes pear-shaped and it doesn't work and nobody gets anything, then, you know, my biggest worry is I then turn into the most hated man on the internet type scenario, and I would very much hate that, which is why I put everything I've got into making it work. There isn't any more that I could physically do, and Harry, I think, would testify to that. There just isn't any more I could physically do. I've worked night and day. I've worked weekends. Outside of that, I'm not the man I was 25 years ago that could work night and day for 3-4 days straight, but I still do the best that I can, and I still believe. I believe, you know, like Forrest Gump moment. That's what I need. That's what we need, Harry. Like that Forrest Gump moment. Everybody's hanging signs out the window going, "We believe. I believe." You know, we need stickers. I believe. Do you remember that?
Not that part in the film.
In Forrest Gump.
Yeah, what part?
Was it Forrest Gump? Was it something else? I don't know.
Anyway, the idea is the same principle applies. So overall then, the biggest question I've got that pretty much answers everything in a nutshell about the whole show, the trade show, etc., it is virtually a case of go big or go home.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. That's a very good way of putting it. Yeah. Don't think it's time, isn't it? I'm 60. I mean, I've been doing the coins now for 10 years, but I'm 60 years old. I'm not a spring chicken. Things are starting to pack up and not work and get sore and ache and one thing and another. You know, Harry's always having a laugh going on about my memory. I think they're all.
Oh yeah, your memory's shot. To be fair, your memory's knackered.
But so it's not like I can sit back. It's not like I could sit there and try and talk Harry into something like, you know, come on, Harry, let's, you know, I've got 20 years in me. I can do this. I can't. You know, I'm 60. So we need things to move at an accelerated rate to what they have done. I think in a lot of ways, I think we've done brilliant. You know,
Yeah,
I'm very
honestly,
proud of,
what you've achieved in the last 10 years is just phenomenal, to be fair.
very proud of what we've managed to achieve.
Especially with getting the knocks and the keyboard warriors and people that are just
Dealing with all of that
yeah,
was
just
horrific.
the fact that you ended up in hospital because of it, your heart issues, and you still going on. Even when you're told to rest, you were still moving about and trying to get everything and still working and that. And even now, to the point you've got your angina spray, you get on, you're like, hold on, okay, carry on. You know,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I get it. I get it. I see it daily, and I'm sure other people do as well. So yeah, I think it is phenomenal what you've achieved in the last 10 years and what you've had to go up against. And I recognise this, and that's why I don't hold it against it, you know, because we've discussed it about my job and where my position lies, you know, if everything goes wrong. But I don't hold any malice towards it because I know together we've given it a good go, and I know you have. So
yeah, we've done our best. I mean, all you can do in any situation is your best.
Yeah. But let's not talk that way. Let's not talk that way, because at the end of the day, we still want to get to do the show. We still want to be doing the show. So yeah, this is going to be sort of like the last chance. Say last chance. Is that accurate?
Stand type
Yeah. So yeah, I'll put it back on the screen for anybody who wants to have a little look.
And so, just clarifying what Harry asked me a little while ago when I went talking about the memberships and what it's worth if it works and what it's worth if it don't. So, you know, let's put it in the absolute coldest, hardest, layman's terms way possible. Supposing you buy 750 quid worth that in front of you on the screen, supposing you buy that and everything goes tits up, then is there a chance you could lose that money? Yes. Supposing you buy that and we end up at some point soaring like an eagle and we make money hand over fist like the way that any one of them could potentially do, what would you actually get back if you bought that at 750? You would get back 4,750.
So right now you pay the black one, and then you'll get the greyed out one if it all works.
If it all works, which might sound like just ridiculous, and it is the best one I've ever put up, and would never do anything like that again, ever. But my back is against the wall. I really want to do this. I know it's putting all my eggs in one basket. I know that it's go big or go home type scenario. But as I say, I'm 60 and it's not like I can go on work on a 10 or a 15-year plan. And there's a lot of people from previous, they haven't got that kind of time. We've already lost a couple of our original investors that have passed away. And that wears really heavily on me because yes, things work out and I give the money to their family, etc. But, you know, that person died and I didn't settle. So, you know, that's happened a couple of times and that's hard to take. So I know that we haven't got an unlimited amount of time. And we need things to happen sooner rather than later. We need to accelerate the soaring like an eagle. We need to get there faster than a 10-year plan. So, and knowing full well that you can do a year's worth of business in one day, a show like this. It's probably the biggest one in the country of its kind, which is why there's such a rush to do it, because we only recently talked about it. I had a look, found out the show was on. It's like, oh, this is the show that I want to do.
It's perfect as well. It's a perfect one because it's gift and homeware. It's gifts. It's everything to do with the TGBCH coins. You know, yes, there's other shows like electronics, but you're not gonna. That isn't TGBCH is not best suited for a electronics exhibition, you know. So this one is very, very key, and obviously close as well, because obviously we want to try and get this.
Yeah,
if it does work, we want to need it sooner rather than later, you know.
That was its biggest negative point, you know, seeing the show. It's like, yes, I remember this show. I remember now. This is the one I want to do. And then the date, and it's like, oh no, look at the date. It's in a month's time. So that's why it's all such a rush, because if I'd have made the decision 3 months ago, 4 months ago, or whatever, but I didn't. We didn't have that conversation then. We had it now, and it is in a month's time. So yeah, so it's all or nothing. Let's all or nothing. Let's get to the show, and let's come away, and let's hope that we can video it. So could you imagine? Could you imagine the buzz sitting there, because you live too far away to be able to come down and say hello? So you're sitting there, you're watching us on the every now and again, you're coming on, you're seeing what's happening. You know, you pop on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll see how Ian and Harry's getting on the stand. And you go on and have a look, and we're buzzing. And we've got a queue of people talking to us. You'd be sitting there going, yes, go on, boys.
To be fair, I've been at a show, and when we've done the trade shows before, when I was working where I was previously, it is such a buzz when you're working there as well, and the amount of people, the way it is a great experience. And I can only imagine. I mean, from when I did it before, I had some, you know, invested into the show as well, and yeah, you will feel it is an experience, definitely doing the show. And if you have got the opportunity of coming, if we do go, you know, if we do go, and you've got the ability to come over. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy the experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Right, I think that's it then. So yeah, if you want to get this deal, where is it? Just here, Ian's exclusive deal 21. You can get it over at the greatbritishcoinhunt.co.uk, or you can literally scan that code just there with your mobile phone or tablet, and it should bring it up straight away. So yeah, I'm going to take it off now. Thank you for that. So yeah, I think that covers all the questions. I don't think I've got any more. You know, thank you for going through it, and yeah, I think that's it. And I've got nothing else to say, I think.
Okay, thanks very much, Harry. Thanks for helping me do this.
No worries.
Being a part of it as well. You've done phenomenally well in the time you've been helping us, and I couldn't have imagined actually getting this far without you, to be honest. So I hope that it works out. Fingers crossed. I mean, obviously there are a couple of reasons why. You know, if we don't sell a single one, it will be because either nobody can afford it, nobody can afford to help in, or whatever, or it will be because nobody has any belief in it, or thinks that it's you know, it's a load of old waffle or whatever. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I think this will be the biggest opportunity that we've got this year. And if we did a Christmas fair, it would be from a retail point of view. So we would be doing a retail Christmas fair, and that could be good as well. But that's a retail point of view, as in you're selling the gifts to people that they're buying for other people. Where as opposed to this show is about selling to the gift shops and doing deals with them and getting our stock all over the country. So that when you go down the road, you walk past a gift shop and you see one in the window. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing the video, Harry.
No problem. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Got this far. It's about 59 minutes now. So
and a free triple whammy to everyone that buys one. So if someone comes along and buys 3, for example, they'll get 3 triple whammies.
Lovely jubbly. Right. See you in a bit. Thanks all.
Thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Bye.